Three, two. Oh no. Holla, holla, holla. Anyway, hello, Internet peeps. Welcome to another edition of Big Trouble in Little Podcasts. And also, welcome to the first ever edition of Big Trouble in Little Award Show of 2017. I am Joe Dubs.
Hey, and I'm Andy.
And we have a somewhat of a big show. We've been advertising about our polls for the nominees for the award show of 2017. We're going to hit up a little bit of what we've been doing, and our movie of the week is The Ref, not The Reef, like we said last week. Even though that
It's not a very good title for that movie.
Yeah, I understand where they were going with it, but it would have been funny if they did some spin-off of or a spin of The Ref being The Reef, since it was during Christmas time. Anyway, so get strapped in and get ready for Big Trouble in Little Podcasts where only dreams can kill a dream. Andy, what the hell have you been playing, watching, reading, and how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good. It was nice and relaxing, and that's the older you get, I think the more that's what it's about. You know, it's, I get a day off work. I'm gonna have a couple meals, and you gotta rush around because you're doing family stuff. But I mean, luckily, I like my family, so that was okay.
Yeah, especially when me and you work in some type of retail, and we go through all the fucking hell, and then we only get a day or two for freedom, pretty much, and it's really, really retarded. But I see you watched a lot of movies this week.
I watched 3 movies this week. 2 of them are new, and one of them is a few years old. I watched A Place Beyond the Pines.
That Ryan Gosling movie?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, Eva Mendes, a few other people. I can't remember who directed it, and that's really embarrassing. Great movie. It's really long and really ambitious with its scope. I think there's a review on Wikipedia that it references that says it's like ambitious to a fault. And I get what they're saying. Like it's long, but it is excellent, and everyone in it is a great actor, and they really nail it. The movie's really cool. I watched Bright on Netflix. That new the guy who directed Training Day did it, right? I think written by Max Landis. It's Will Smith and some other guy. It's fun. It's good. I mean, for being on Netflix, it's pretty okay. I think they messed up making it a movie and not a series, though.
Well, they got greenlit for Bright 2. So.
Yeah, that's good. I think that'll help, but I mean, it's not perfect. So, a friend told me, "Oh, the critics are eating that one alive." Well, yeah, I mean, I see how, but whatever. It's fine. It's entertaining. Like I watched it in 2 sittings, and I was entertained.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. Like the critics, pretty much on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe it gave it a 23%, and the people gave it like an 89 to a 90%. So obviously, the people are having more of a good time watching that movie than the critics do.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd recommend over it, but there's movies that you want to sit down and really pay attention to and really dig your teeth into, and then sometimes you just want to watch a movie. You want a movie to be on. If you look at Facebook on your phone, who cares if you're having a half-hearted conversation with someone, you're building a model, you're doing something else. Yeah, Bright's really good for that. There's some fun parts in it. It's interesting. The story it tells is interesting. I was interested the whole time.
Yeah, I heard good things about it. I don't know. Lately, Will Smith, how was he in the film? Because his late work is becoming bland, and
honestly, I was watching it with an eye for how good of an actor he still is, or ever was, or will be, or whatever. He's really blah in it. Like he always has this. He has an intensity when he acts that he's brought to a lot of parts, but it always feels like, man, I really don't know how to put it. Like he's an actor, so of course he's acting, but whenever he uses intensity, it's like I can see that he's acting. So, I mean, I guess that's me saying bad, but there is no part in that movie where I'm like, man, Will Smith sucks. Like he was good enough the whole movie. So
Hmm.
Doesn't blow me away. It's kind of like the movie. It's like, oh, it's good enough. It's all right.
Yeah. It's on my to-do list since now Black Mirror season 4 has just been released, so
Mm.
I'm gonna be watching that. But I see one other movie that you saw this weekend or week.
Yeah, a friend and I had to drive to another city to go to a theater that we'd never even heard of, which we actually really liked and we'll probably return to, just to see The Disaster Artist, because movies don't get wide releases anymore. If you want to see Star Wars or Coco or fucking Justice League still, then yeah, you can see that no problem around here. But if you want to see something like Disaster Artist, you gotta go driving. It was worth it though. I like the Disaster Artist a lot. Like, some critics don't like it tons, and I see what they mean. The movie's it's like the movie couldn't decide if it wanted to be super serious or super funny.
Hmm.
No part of it is super serious, but I don't know. It's got different kinds of humor in it, but it's one of the best performances I've seen James Franco give. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because James Franco is kind of like a hit and miss kind of guy. He did that one movie. Well, he did many movies with Seth Rogen, but the one where he was with North Korea and they were making fun. The Interview.
The Interview.
Um, that was an okay film. Pineapple Express is fucking hilarious.
I love that movie.
He was also in Spider Man, if anybody remembers James Franco. But he's a good actor. He just he was a perfect guy for Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he's getting in all this directing and producing stuff, for better or worse. He's directing tons of small stuff, but Disaster Artist was good. He did a good.
It's only in
There's a ton of supporting actors in that movie that are great too. Like, Rogan's in it, but there's also like I don't know, Jason Milakis is in it, and Paul, how do you say his name, Schreier or something like that.
mm-hmm.
Um, Bob Odenkirk's in it, and a bunch of other people in like real small parts. It's a funny movie though. If you can see it, definitely see it.
Yeah. I definitely want to see it. I want to get a movie pass just so that I could watch these movies that are not like big like Star Wars and I can
I tried to get a movie pass, but they wouldn't fucking do it. Movie passes. It's a good idea for a service, but I kept trying to sign up for one, and like the billing thing would fail. Like, they wouldn't even take my money, so I got frustrated. I tried several times over several days, and their website and their back end is just fucking trash.
probably the holidays all backed up with people.
It was like the first week in November.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want it to work. I still kind of want it, but I mean, if they're so incompetent they can't even take my money, I don't know if I want to give them my money. You know?
Yeah.
Did you watch anything?
I watched this short like documentary called Wormwood. Brief brief storyline is about a family about this guy who was a scientist, I believe, that worked in the army, and this was during when CIA was using LSD for like mind control, MK Ultra, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much the father dies, and in like the CIA pretty much covers it up and everything, and the newspaper says that he might have either fell or jumped or got pushed out of the window. So the son is like the main focus in this documentary because he's been trying to years to uncover this so that the CIA can, take blame. And it's really it grabs you, but then it kind of throws you at the end where it's like, man, did I just waste my time on this documentary?
Huh.
Like I see where they were going with it, and it does like a real good build up, but the payoff is just I didn't like it. Maybe
Yeah.
because I'm the type of person is I want answers, to be in the end and pretty much tell what happened in this story,
It's not too
and
much to ask for.
and in reality, you're never gonna get the answer that the CIA or our government fucked up. So I should have saw this coming, but it was so edited really well for me at the edge of my seat to begin going, oh my god, is the truth gonna be uncovered? Is this gonna happen? And then the rug right under my feet. So I'm still gonna recommend it because if it's on Netflix, give it a try, and it's actually good stuff because it's actually stuff that CIA did, where they wiretap people's houses in the 50s because of communism and because of LSD mind control and all that stuff. But other than that, my Christmas has been okay. You know,
Good.
like you were saying before, just relaxing and getting out of this bullshit of fucking retail for a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Even though we're probably gonna get hit up this weekend because of fucking New Year's Eve.
I gotta work New Year's Day. That'll be a blast.
Oh, so you're gonna be working on the hangover if you drink.
Yeah, I haven't decided what's gonna happen there.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, I bought Rocket League for my Switch.
Right on.
So I'm building up that library because I think the Switch is an amazing system.
Agreed.
Yeah. So other than that, Andy, any other things that we need to touch upon on what the hell we've been doing?
I don't think so. I'm anxious to talk about the ref.
Let's get into it while I'm still having this cough. It's a Dennis Leary movie, by the way, and Kevin Spacey. If anybody, I just want to get this out of the way. Even though Kevin Spacey's done a fucking really shitty thing as a person,
Yeah,
he's an amazing actor. I just want to put that.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I was discussing this with a friend, like right before I watched this movie. That's why I thought it was weird because I didn't know Kevin Spacey was in this. I was like, oh, I gotta watch Ref for Big Trouble podcast. So I guess I'll watch it now. Just click, and then there he was. And I think I sent you a message. It's like Kevin Spacey's in this. You fucking pedo. What the fuck, man? But it's I don't know. It is kind of like I hate to see Kevin Spacey, and that's the first thought that I have. That's not fair, and that's frustrating. Same thing happens every time I start a movie that was made or produced by the Weinsteins now, which is like every Quentin Tarantino movie and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, fuck.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta. The same thing with like politics. You have to like put that to a side.
I guess. I mean, I did eventually. Like, I got around it, but it did take a scene or two.
He was really fucking funny. Even though I had like in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, Kevin Spacey might be looking at that kid. He might be looking at Jesse.
Yeah, there was a couple times that whenever he's in a scene with like a young man now, it's like, oh, god damn it, brain.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, story is really simple in this film.
It sure is.
Dennis Leary is like this big time robber that goes into like people's buildings and steal their shit. And he picked the wrong guy that had like some Wile E. Coyote fucking traps in the house.
Yeah, they never like elaborate on that. That's so weird. This guy has a safe that he tries to break into. I mean, he succeeds in breaking into it, but it sprays cat piss in his face, and then there's a trap door. What the fuck? Like, yeah. I didn't know what to expect at that point. Is this movie serious or is it like a ridiculous comedy?
Mm-hmm. And it's a mixture of both. And in the beginning, by the way, like it starts off with Kevin Spacey characters and Judy Davis's, which is Lloyd and Caroline, with the doctor, Dr. Wong. And this Dr. Wong guy, his role in every movie and TV show is always a doctor. He's always a head doctor. He's in Law and Order SVU, by the way. He's the
maybe he like has an actual degree or something.
Maybe, but it just Kevin Spacey, Judy Davis had some great chemistry because you felt like they were mad at each other the whole fucking time. Like they were your typical, people that are gonna go into a divorce, and they're fighting over small shit. One's like not perfect. She wants to try like all this Scandinavian stuff, and Kevin Spacey's more of the safe guy. He fears a failure. So like every time when Judy Davis's character is trying something new, he's like hesitant about it.
They made me think about the Lockhorns a lot. That comic.
No, I never heard of Lockhorn.
Like in the newspaper, the couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is while Dennis Leary's getting his cat piss in his face and being shot out of the fucking house somehow, and he's running away from the police. So he finds Judy Davis's and Kevin Spacey's character, and says, "Take me to your house. I need like a safe place to hide until until his drunk partner Gus calls him and all that stuff." And the comedy in this film is fucking hilarious. Like in the beginning, I was like, "Huh, okay, that's funny," but in other times, I was like, especially the part where the Kevin Spacey's mom comes in and he pretty much tells her to shut the fuck up. And like when that shit starts to happen, like when everything's starting to break down within the family, like I thought that was an amazing scene. Like especially when the kids are tying up the parents and the grandma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. By the way, shout out to Super Nintendo, which was in there. I don't know if you noticed the kid got that as a gift.
No, I don't think I did notice.
Yeah, the fat kid got a Super Nintendo because I don't know the kid's name, so I'm gonna call him Fat Kid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. um, what do you think of the film, Andy?
I liked it. I was entertained by it. I don't feel like I wasted my time. Kevin Spacey was great in it, but Dennis Leary was the most fun to me. I like Dennis Leary in it the best.
Dennis Leary is always Dennis Leary in everything that he does.
Yeah, there's several times where I could like hear his stand up. Like when at the end when they're getting away on the boat. Spoiler, sorry, he gets away at the end. When they're getting away on the boat, like he starts talking really fast about what he's going to do to Gus, and
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like his stand up.
And just the comedy and everything, like Dennis Leary when he's like pretty much saying I'm gonna fucking shoot you and all that stuff. Like
Yeah,
his delivery is good, and Dennis Leary in the late '90s and early 2000s was big because he was in that TV show. I forgot what it was called. He was a fireman. Damn it, I don't know what it is, but he was
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me. There you go. And he did a lot of stand up. He was also in Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes, and
Oh, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot about that.
he was the tunnel people, the sewer people. And that's another part about his stand up where he goes, I want to just pour jelly on me and call me an Oscar Mayer wiener. That's not the full quote, but he says everything quickly, and that's kind of like his shtick and all that stuff. What else do I like about the film? I love the fucking lieutenant, the police in this film. I thought it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I wanted to talk about the police in this film. Like he's funny, but I don't feel like his story had a conclusion.
Well, you could clearly see that he doesn't want to be in that town, but
I
then
guess
but then
it's
this
just like the guy comes in and treats him like shit, and then he tries to do his job, and then he fails at doing his job because his men fuck him over, and then sure enough, he's getting removed from his job, and then the stinger is, "Oh hey Bob, I slept with your wife, haha, that's hilarious," and then that's the end of it. Like, god damn it, I wanted to see more of that storyline, but it just like I don't know, it felt anticlimactic to me. I didn't like that.
I thought it was just fine because he wasn't the main focus, and I think they were trying to portray that these small town cops are dumb, and that's why they
Yeah, that's in so many movies. Haha, these police are inept. Like all of his men are just like jokes, and I get sick of it.
I just thought the delivery
It
of like I slept
it
with your
didn't
wife.
match the tone of the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
It's like the rest of the movie was like comedic but serious, and then the cops are all just comedic, no serious, and it's useless. That whole plot about the cops could have cut the whole thing, made the rest of the movie longer. Could have
yeah.
added more to what they were doing otherwise.
And can we talk about how the police invaded not invaded, but pretty much screwed every American's rights of entering people's homes and stuff? Because they
Well, they
don't.
see him tied up, right? Is that what you're talking about at the end?
Well, I'm talking about every household, by the way, because they don't show like when they say, "Hey, we're just doing a routine house to house search. Or do you can you allow us to come in and check to see if he's here or not?" It's kind of like, "Oh, we're here. We're just gonna barge in and stuff." And I'm like, that's really unfair to me to say, kind of, because we didn't see the other houses, so they could have said that maybe. And then the Kevin Spacey house, they saw them tied up, so that gave him the probable cause to enter
Yeah,
the
that's why
house.
they came in. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Those the little details I wish they added a little bit, because it kind of like, oh, we're gonna search every fucking house for this criminal because in Connecticut we do it different. So like that bothered me a little bit. Um, the Santa Claus I thought was hilarious and
Yeah,
annoying.
that was funny. Like that at least tied into the main plot in a real way.
Yeah. Um, I don't understand his like arc kind of really, because in the beginning he was kind of like cheery but also like an asshole, because he's like, where's your son Jesse, because our Jesus is still missing from a nativity scene. So yeah,
Yeah, that's right. They didn't deliver on that. What was up with that?
I think it was just a nod. When Dennis Leary went into the kid's room and found the Jesus, it was kind of like, oh, he's a troublemaker just like me. And that's why he kept on adding like those fucking those life lessons of, hey kid, you need to be with your family, even though they're all fucked up, because running away from the police is not a good life, and especially when you're 35 years old.
Yeah.
Like I those scenes I didn't really care of. I just love that this functional family that they had. uh by the way, hold on a second. There's one guy in there, the Siskel, the army guy. What was it? He's in that Spider-Man movie. There we go. J.K. Simmons. He was
Oh
in the
yeah.
film. I have you noticed that J.K. Simmons kind of doesn't really age that much?
Yeah. No, he totally. I think it's because he's been bald like since 1982 or something. So he just always looks the same.
Yeah,
That's my theory.
because I was like, oh my god, he still looks the same even in the 90s, and I'm like, oh okay. I thought Jesse's storyline a little bit, like, I get it. He's a bad kid. He blackmails people. I didn't. It's funny how he has like 11 grand from blackmailing people. And do we want to get the ending out of the way?
I
Spoilers.
mean, I already spoiled that Dennis Leary gets away at the end.
Well, I think the main like storyline was Lloyd and Caroline, how they pretty much it took a criminal to bring him back together in a way.
Yeah, like all the strife they go through, like throughout the course of the movie, things get worse, and then they say, "We're getting a divorce, fuck you," and then there's all the inter-family strife, and he learns to tell his mother to go fuck herself and stuff like that. And at the end, they're close again. Like there's no like real blatant. I guess we'll stay together forever. They just say they're going to talk about it and they're going to involve their kid, and that's like the healthy, good thing to do.
Now, did you get the vibe that some parts of this film they had like a little improv going? Like especially the dinner scene, because I love when Dennis Leary and Caroline come in, and he's like, "Oh, your mother's a bitch."
Yeah.
I felt a lot of the movie was improv between Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey, and Judy Davis.
Oh, maybe I didn't get that, but maybe.
It was just really good. I think the chemistry was really great in this film. I thought they fed off well with each other. When you see typical comedy, you don't see this film in a way, because it felt like it had its own identity, and it had the typical storyline, but it had Dennis Leary's touch to it. And when Dennis Leary's in the movie, I think is it's different to me at least.
Mm.
Anything else you want to talk about this movie?
Um, I don't think so. Only that I did enjoy it. It was fun. Dennis Leary's great in it.
Mm-hmm. And I thought this was. I'm glad I actually changed my last movie for this
Yeah.
movie, because who would have known what the. I think the movie I chose before was Hector, and it was some type of like documentary. So
Mm.
I guess it was good that I ended it on the comedy. Never really choose comedy, even though I chose the Bill Murray and Dennis Leary film. So
Well, Bill Murray could have been funnier anyway.
Yeah, we had different opinions. Man, we've been having a lot of different opinions lately. That's a
Good.
yeah,
People get bored of hearing us say, "Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great." All
yeah,
right. Well, did you like it? I did. Did you like it? Yeah.
yeah. So I definitely during this time of the year in the winter, check it out. It was good to watch. I laughed at 4 a.m. in the morning watching this, so I recommend it. Andy, do you recommend it?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
All right. On that note, I think it's time for our Big Trouble in Little Award Show 2017. Boy, did we have a good turnout in our votes from our fans.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have like one or two.
I thought it would be us.
Yeah, tell you the truth, I thought that too. But I'll give you like numbers here and there because a lot of people that I spread the link to within our fan base, they were like, "Oh, I didn't play this game or I didn't see this movie, so I didn't even vote."
Yeah.
So if you look at like the total votes, that's why they're like inconsistent because there was
Yep.
like 17, there was 19, there was 14. And I was
Awesome.
I was like, I respect that. You want to vote something that you've watched and stuff instead of just hearing from other people. So I'll quickly go through the categories, and I'm gonna do it based off what I put because I did make another page on newdubsorder.com of how I'm gonna order it. So I have best soundtrack in a game, best soundtrack in a movie, best graphics in a game, best cinematography in a movie, best sports game, best audio design in a game, best single player game, best multiplayer game, best gameplay mechanics, most improved game, best game developer, best console in this generation, which by the way I'm disappointed in people voting, but I'll move on.
Yeah.
Best actor in movies, best director in movies, movie of the year, and then finally game of the year. Andy brought up a good point last episode that we might be splitting up our awards because Andy said, and I agree, that a lot of movies are still being played at this late in the year.
Yeah.
So
Since we did our nominees, I've seen several movies that I would have liked to consider as well. So in the future, I'd like to focus on games in December, but give January movies.
yeah, and that's what we'll probably do. So next year, movies will be in January, games will be in December. But on that note, let's get into our first category of the night. Let me get here.
Best soundtrack in a game. Right? We're gonna do it in the order that it was on the voting page.
Yes. So the nominees are, and Andy, do you have the page up?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So name out the nominees, and then I'll show the winner on.
Cuphead, Sonic Mania, Persona 5, Mario Odyssey.
Okay. And the winner is everybody, and I will say it in audio format because we will be in audio format soon. Cuphead is the best soundtrack in the game. So the people of Cuphead, I will be sending out a tweet of your little JPEG belt and all that stuff. So
What was your pick for best soundtrack?
my best soundtrack, I would have to say Cuphead because on Spotify I did have Cuphead on my queue, and it's a really awesome music.
I picked Persona 5. I Cuphead soundtrack is really interesting, but it's one gimmick. It's all like that old music, and that's awesome. But I chose Persona 5 because it's a little more varied, and I'm also biased. I spent $100 on the vinyl soundtrack. It was 4 discs of Persona 5. I fucking love it, man. Persona 5 is a great sound.
Mm-hmm. So
But Sonic Mania, I almost chose Sonic Mania, but it was Persona 5 just barely. Sonic Mania's soundtrack is great.
yeah, it's amazing that some people actually voted Sonic Mania because within our fan base and our group of friends, like I only know me and you that are like putting Switch on a high pedestal. Even though Sonic Mania came out for other platforms, but
Sonic Mania was on everything. It's on Steam and PS4 and Xbox One. And,
yeah,
excuse me.
yeah. So Andy recommends Persona 5, and I recommend Cuphead. So moving on to the next category. I wish I had like a little soundboard of like people clapping, but oh well. Best soundtrack in a movie. I'll do these nominees for this one. So we got Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Atomic Blonde, and Dunkirk. Andy, do you want to say the winner?
The winner, much to my surprise, to be honest, is Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yes, and I think I did pick that. Yes, I did. I
I
was.
mean, John Williams soundtracks are fantastic, but I was just surprised. This is one of the categories that I wish I could have nominated more interesting stuff for.
What would you add if we put this in January?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe there were no movies with fantastic soundtracks this year. Part of me wanted to choose Blade Runner 2049, but I felt like I'd already chose it for enough categories, so I was like, no, I'll do something different.
Yeah. So, what did you choose in the best soundtrack? By the way.
I voted for Atomic Blonde, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe Atomic Blonde had a really sweet like '80s soundtrack. It was all like '80s Euro pop and like David Bowie and I think there's a Devo song in it and stuff like that. The
Hmm.
movie itself is all right. It's kind of boring. There's some cool fight scenes. It's shot really well, but the soundtrack was outstanding.
Yeah. Um. So you're recommending Atomic Blonde,
I
or
mean, the soundtrack.
yeah, yeah, not the movie.
Nah, the movie's okay. Watch it on FX one day or something, but nah.
Yeah. I really enjoy John Williams, so that's why I chose The Last Jedi.
No, I think Last Jedi is the right choice. I was still a little surprised by it.
Yeah, even though I pretty much don't agree with the movie, I do agree with the soundtrack. So,
Let's move on to one of the things I'm most disappointed in the voting for is best multiplayer game.
oh, you want to go right there? All right, hold on a second. Let me.
Sort of stuff in different orders. I'm
Yeah,
just on,
I rearrange it, but you know what? We'll do it this way. So,
I'm just on the awards page.
yeah, so let's get
Awards
into
page.
best multiplayer game. So,
Nominees were Fortnite, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Splatoon 2, and Players Unknown Battlegrounds. I always say it wrong. I've been saying PUBG just because that's what you say.
yeah, that's what the cool people say.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the winner is, and with an astounding 63% of the votage, no surprise in my opinion, is PUBG.
All right. Yeah, that. I mean, that game made a huge splash this year, and it deserves it. But I don't know. I chose Splatoon.
I almost chose that because we had so much fun in that game.
That's because it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. But imagine if PUBG was on Switch, even though that's probably impossible to do. But
Who knows? Maybe one day.
maybe. But I did choose PUBG because I have over 200-hour games in that.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So that's the reason why, because it's the game that keeps on giving in a way, and I don't know. Even though there's a lot of like battle royale stuff, I just think that it's good, and it could be better because there is a lot of bugs in the game. But like I watch other videos where people, especially on the Xbox One, where they're like, "Oh, this game is fucking terrible to play, but I can't stop playing it." And I'm just like, so there's something there. They just need to fix it.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, that
Yeah.
is best multiplayer game.
We'll go to best single player game.
All right, and the nominees are Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero Dawn, Hellblade's Sanaya's
Just
Sacrifice.
say Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade, and then The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. Andy, what is the winner?
The winner is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild
Yes.
with 43% of the votes, and this will lead into more of our conversation later. But in second place with 36% of the votes was Mario Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
So, single player games, Nintendo's where it's at, baby.
Yeah. Andy, what did you recommend?
I put Breath of the Wild. This one was really hard to decide. I went with Breath of the Wild solely because, like, Mario Odyssey. I'm going to talk about this again when we get to Game of the Year. Mario Odyssey was more consistently fun, but Breath of the Wild provided me a larger amount of fun. If that makes any sense.
I agree, and I chose Mario Odyssey
Yeah.
because I did enjoy every fucking world that I went to, and I want to play it more. Not saying that Zelda is shit or anything, but there's so much stuff to do in Zelda, and it's another one of those games where I want to spend every minute doing. Like, it's gonna take me a real long time to beat Zelda. I'm gonna tell you that. Like Mario,
Yeah.
like even though you have the other alternate ending that you can do, the main storyline is still fun, and I enjoyed that more, and it made me want to finish Mario Odyssey more than Breath of the Wild. Because Breath of the Wild, like when open world games happen, I kind of get a little um, intimidated, where I'm just like, where do I go? Am I going the right way? I never know if I'm going the right way or not, unless like I could tell the storyline's picking up.
Hmm.
So that's the reason why I chose Mario Odyssey. All right, let's go into the next category, and that is Best Game Developer. Andy, do you want to say the nominees?
Nominees were Machine Games, Ninja Theory, Naughty Dog, and Nintendo EPD. EPD stands for Entertainment Planning and Development.
Hmm. I was really surprised with this voting.
Me fucking too.
Because the only game that came out for Naughty Dog, well, two games if you count the remastered of Crash Bandicoot,
Um,
was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which was like a DLC game, a standalone game, and they, I'll just say the winner right now. The winner is Naughty Dog.
yeah,
And I was
I can't believe it wasn't Nintendo EPD. I mean, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2. Come on, Jesus.
yeah, I'm gonna have to say I recommend Nintendo because
Yeah, I chose Nintendo. I mean, they also made 1-2 Switch, but I'm not going to hold that against them.
well, the only thing I can say about 1-2 Switch is like it was way overpriced for that type of
Yeah,
game.
definitely. Yeah, it's fun enough. But yeah, I can't. I part of me is worried. I nominated Nintendo Entertainment Product Division Development, whatever. I'm afraid I wasn't specific as to what the hell that is. I should have like put in parentheses or call it something different. But oh well.
And I think people like, especially when people voted for this, they know Naughty Dog because of Crash Bandicoot and Uncharted. Ninja
Sure,
Theory, I guess, because everybody's now knowing about Hellblade.
sure.
And then I could tell, obviously, 2 out of 4 voting for Nintendo. Like, these people know how good of a track record Nintendo is with their games.
Hmm.
So, and then you have Lonely Machine Games, who did the Wolfenstein.
My
So,
Ninja Theory was my second one though because of their indie AAA approach. And that's going to be a thing I hope going forward. But
hopefully,
anyway, I guess we can go to what's next. Best graphics in a game, right?
yes. So we have,
Graphics.
yeah, the nominees are. Let me get to the picture here before I start saying the nominees. So you have Near Automata. Did I say that
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Okay, good.
At least
Uncharted.
I'm pretty sure it's right. That's how I've been saying it.
Yeah, well, I think it's like tomato, tomato. I guess Uncharted: Lost Legacy, Hellblade, and then Horizon Zero Dawn. And Andy, do you want to say the winner?
The winner is Horizon Zero Dawn, which I agreed with. And I mean, come on, let's face it, that game's gorgeous.
It's really gorgeous to look at, and it was a pretty close this was another close poll, by the way,
Yeah,
where
I was a little surprised. Nier just about edged it out, but nope, Horizon got it.
yeah, it was like a 41 to 35% with the winning there. And yeah, this game is gorgeous to play. It's another one of those games where I had to finish, but that was during a bad time because that's when Zelda came out. I was more invested in Zelda than Horizon.
Yep,
Um,
best gameplay mechanics.
did you play Near, by the way?
Barely. Like I played it enough that I could feel confident nominating it. But I really want to sit down and like dig in at
Yeah,
some point. I'm taking a short break from video games right now. I'm trying to catch up on some books and movies.
nice. Uncharted was a really gorgeous game to play. When I was playing it to get it out of the way because it was my brother's game and I had to finish the storyline really quickly. There was times where I just stared at the environment and I was like, "Holy shit, this is where gaming's going." Like I remember playing 16-bit fucking games on the Super Nintendo and all that shit, and just being like, "This is awesome!" Like this is what video games are. And now you look at 2017 and the environment just looks like you're in real life, especially VR, by the way. VR is coming a long way. I don't know if I should have had that as a category. Ah,
I
fuck
still
it.
gotta try it. I wouldn't have had anything to nominate.
Yeah. Other than that, congratulations to Guerrilla Games, Horizon Zero Dawn winning the best graphics in a game. So that's another where I should have like a clapping thing, clapping
Yeah,
soundboard. Andy, what is our next category?
gameplay mechanics.
Yes. And what is the nominees?
Mario Odyssey, Stardew Valley, SteamWorld Dig 2, and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
All right. And the winner is Mario Odyssey.
Yay. That's who I voted for.
I actually voted for Legend of the Zelda. Uh,
Oh, okay.
the reason I did that is because there was times in that game where I was like, maybe this might work, and it worked. And I was like, you know how like you take your arrow and you put it next to a fire. I'm like, oh my god, now I
Yeah.
have a fiery arrow. Like things like that, where I'm like, this is good game mechanics.
I had to think about this one really hard, but I felt like in Mario Odyssey they used every part of an environment. Like the thing I loved about it is as soon as you become most of the creatures in the different kingdoms, the everything changes. Oh, I can swim through lava now. This is basically a brand new situation. Oh, I can fly now. Oh, this so everything's changed. And they did a really good job of making sure everything was like consistent. Like as soon as you became something, you kind of got the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I decided that one.
Yeah. With we call it Mario Odyssey, because what I liked about it is how you could do anything with the hat, and there's like so many moves that you could do.
Yeah,
But like if you played like Mario 64 or Sunshine, like you can go straight into this game.
yeah, totally.
So I didn't really see like an eye popping like kind of mechanic to it. I thought Zelda edged it a little more than Mario Odyssey, even
Fair
though
enough.
there's like so much shit to do in Mario Odyssey. All right, let's get to our next category, and the next category is
Ooh, our first tie.
yes, and I'll explain that in a second. Best audio design in a game: Hellblade, Resident Evil 7, Sonic Mania, and Uncharted Lost Legacy.
And like I said, it's our first tie, a tie between Hellblade and Resident Evil 7.
Yes. So, how we solved the ties in our polls is that I went to Metacritic and looked at the review, and whoever had the highest review would become the winner. And with the winner of an 86 to an 81, Resident Evil 7 edges Hellblade in this win. And I have to say both games audio design wise is a tie to me. And the reason why is if you play Hellblade, hearing the voices in their head, if you're playing with a headset on, was really, really good. Now in Resident Evil 7, the sounds in the house and everything freaked you the fuck out.
Imagine it's even worse in the VR.
Yeah, so like those games, like those are the two games in 2017 where I'm like, what had the best audio design? And I would have to say both of these games, but my recommendation, I think I chose was Hellblade. What was yours?
I put Hellblade as well.
Okay, so audio design. Hellblade.
Most improved game. This was a category I was interested in seeing where it went.
Yeah, I feel like we could have added more nominees in this one, by the way.
Probably.
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, there's other games that have been worked on for like a while. So the nominees for most improved game are Players Unknown Battlegrounds, Rainbow Six Siege, Grand Theft Auto 5, Ark Survival. Andy, who is the winner?
Players Unknown Battlegrounds.
Yep, the PUBG.
I get why it won. Like it makes a lot of sense. The game went from, nothing pretty much. Like it's what a Cinderella story, right? And now it's on Xbox One and it's a full $30 Steam release and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's out of early access now. It's a full-fledged, finally, a game.
I'm glad that games come out of early access still. I was starting to wonder.
Even though it still feels like early access because of all the bugs that are happening. It's only
It's an
one.
ambitious game.
It's only one game mode. Like when you think of a game, you think of like other features. There's only one, and when you're matchmaking, you can't choose a map. There's two maps now. You have I call it the green map and the desert map,
Huh.
and I just wish that you could choose what map you can go to. I'm pretty sure that's an easy fix you could do. My recommendation was PUBG again because I've played so much into that game and it did improve from nothing to kind of something.
I chose Rainbow Six, and I'll explain why.
Yeah,
PUBG went from nothing to something. It went from fun to even more fun. Rainbow Six went from a game that I would not recommend whatsoever to a game that I play all the time and love. Like PUBG went from, like I said, fun to more fun. That was probably the best way to put it. But Siege went from awful to fantastic. I thought it improved the most, but this is my opinion.
hmm and I would have to agree that I think Rainbow Six Siege should have won this because that game has been transforming for like 2 years out,
Yeah, yeah.
and like even though this is even though this is for 2017, games these days they are constantly being updated, which is in my opinion wrong, but that's another discussion. But uh even the Division has like new updates and shit that changes the game completely, and I don't know, this is always going to be a category in my opinion because there's going to be games that we like Overwatch that are still being played that
Sure.
that could be improved every year. It could be a
Totally.
completely new game. But moving on, Andy, what is the next?
Best console of this generation. We're going to have to talk about this one a little bit. The nominees the nominees are obvious: Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PC.
Now, people are going to probably think, why is PC a console? I felt like we should add it because a lot of the gaming community does play PC,
Clearly.
and you can't just have another be like, oh, we're gonna have like a PC section. Let's talk about each different PC. No, you just put PC as its own entity into the console generation poll here. Andy, I'll give you the thing to say who won this category.
Too upset to say it, huh?
Yeah, I'm too upset to say it.
PC won. I don't. Okay. PC Master Race, I get it.
Yeah.
No, PC's great. I mean, I've been gaming on the PC since I was a kid, and I understand it. But um, I mean, anyone who listens to the show probably knows what I'm gonna say. But I've just got such a hard on for the Switch, man. I voted for the Switch. It nailed it. I love it. Oh, I can take it anywhere, and it looks great on my TV. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I chose Switch. It's just you take it anywhere you want. I know games are gonna be 100% when I get it. That they're not gonna be like, oh, here's a day one patch and all that shit. Love that third parties coming onto the system. It's it's gonna go up from here on out. Uh, can't wait until they do their Nintendo Direct where Metroid Prime is probably gonna get a trailer or something, and hopefully we get our virtual console.
Yeah, we need some more of that kind of jazz. They have like a couple small things on there, but I want something more organized, more like it was in the Wii or even the Wii.
And hopefully they do hear us, by the way, and they're just not ignoring it and be like, oh, we could just put like, Super Mario here or Zelda Link
Yeah,
to the Past here. No, we want the whole enchilada.
yeah. Come on, bring Mother 3. That's the Vanguard. That's what they're gonna do next month. They're gonna say, hey, we're doing a virtual console, and by the way, it's got Super Mario World, Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and fucking Mother 3 finally. And then everyone will be like, yes, awesome, and then they'll buy those things.
Hmm. Yeah, we can only hope, but Nintendo Switch, I think I'm gonna be playing that console for a couple more years, or and probably beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to at least finish it in 2018. I'll tell you that because 2017 was great for the Switch. But anyway, is Game of the Year really the next category?
No, let's talk best sports game, which is
Okay. I let's see. Again, the nominees should be obvious enough. I'm surprised the new UFC game wasn't on here.
yeah, I actually thought of that when we were doing the nominees. I'm like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh my god, we don't have a sports section on this one, and I do play
Who
sports
cares?
games.
I saw that you added that, and I was like, oh. But anyway, NHL 18, FIFA 18, Madden 18, MLB The Show 17.
Yeah, because baseball games come out in the springtime,
Yeah,
so their years are always a year behind, or the actual year.
yeah, their years are correct.
Yeah. So the winner of the best sports game in 2017, and I just purchased this myself during the Christmas break, is NHL 18. What I like about it is that they did improve the gameplay. I remember reviewing NHL 17 and giving it in the 70% range, and I usually don't do that. Usually I'm like satisfied with every NHL game, but I was really pissed off last year on how they fucking treated the shitty controls and all that stuff. There's some like shitty controls here and there, but like the hut is more improved. Um, the menu system is more response. Has a high response now. Um, you have the 3-on-3 gameplay that's in the feature that makes it more fun, very arcadey if you're into that arcadey type of play. But then you have
Totally.
your simulation, which you can go play the other stuff in. So I recommend that. And I've played other games. I played Madden and I played MLB The Show, but hockey is always gonna be my number one. Andy, what did you pick?
I only played 2 of these games this year. I played Madden, and the new Madden was pretty cool. I really wanted to try the single player, and I never got to. Like the weird story mode. I heard it was cool. I didn't get to try it. I picked MLB The Show because The Show is always my favorite sports game, pretty much. Like if UFC had been on the list, I would have considered that.
Mm-hmm.
But the show is always fun. Like they haven't ruined any of the gameplay mechanics in at least several iterations.
Yeah,
Plus,
and
it's my favorite sport to watch. Biased.
Yeah, I'm a little biased on my decision too. But Andy, I don't want to get into game of the year yet. We'll save that last.
We'll come back. We'll do best cinematography.
Yes. So
In
get into the nominees, Andy.
Blade Runner 2049, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, American Made, and Dunkirk.
And the winner of best cinematography in a movie is Blade Runner 2049. Andy, you seen this movie?
Yes, it's
So
fantastic.
I don't know anything about it besides all the fucking advertisements that came out for this
Huh.
film. I have to watch it. Eventually, I am going to see it. I just knew that it was a really really long movie, and I didn't want to on a day off. Like, I know it's a good movie, but I didn't want to waste 3 hours at a movie theater.
Boo.
So I'll waste 3 hours at my house, I guess.
Yeah, you should though. It's great. It's gonna come out. It's available digitally now. It comes out on Blu-ray next month.
Can't wait. And goddamn, Blu-rays are coming out quickly now in
Yeah.
movies. It's weird.
What'd you vote for if it wasn't Blade Runner?
Dunkirk.
No, me too.
Yeah. I felt every because there was no dialogue in Dunkirk. I thought each shot was fucking shot well,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
by
I
Christopher Nolan.
I voted Dunkirk because it makes more situations look great than Blade Runner. Blade Runner relies on some computers, and there's a few shots where it is just kind of two people doing a thing. But in Dunkirk, it's like boats and aircraft and guys and ships and piers and buildings and gunfights and everything. Like I thought Dunkirk deserved it.
Well, Christopher Nolan, they used like actual fucking warplanes and shit
Yeah,
to make it look real and everything. So that was great how they shot that. But yeah, all these movies were great, and we should have waited until January because there was more movies that were even more greater.
yeah,
I know Shape of the Water I gotta go watch. So
me too.
speaking of directors, let's get into the best director in movies, and let me just scroll down here so that I have everything correct. So the nominees are, and I'm gonna fucking butcher this guy's name,
Everyone does.
Denise Villeneuve, whatever.
Villeneuve, Villa, the guy who did Blade Runner.
Yes. Then you got Christopher Nolan, who did Dunkirk, uh, Doug Lyman, who did American Made, and then Martin Scorsese in Silence.
Scorsese.
Scorsese. I say it different.
No, no, you said it right. I was
uh,
making a Birdman joke.
uh, damn it. I didn't catch it. So the winner is the guy who did Blade Runner.
Yeah, god damn it. I want to say it.
Congratulations. I bet you Andy would recommend that he did a great job.
He did do a great job, but that's not the one I voted for.
You let me guess, Christopher Nolan.
Nope.
Oh, who'd you vote for?
I'm the only vote that
Oh,
silent.
oh yeah.
I hated to be cliche and vote for Martin Scorsese of all fucking people, someone who doesn't need the the attention from a show distinguished as ours, but he drags a great performance out of several interesting actors in that movie, and I you can tell watching that movie. This movie must have been a pain in the ass to make, so that's why I respected it.
Well, you had Adam Driver and who else in the film?
Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield.
Oh God, three good actors right there.
Mm.
Yeah. So Scorsese and Nolan, and then obviously the winner is the Blade Runner guy. That's what I'm gonna reference him as. Oh God. Anyway, Andy, let's get into our best actor in a movie.
I think we need to split Best Actor and Best Actress up like they do at the Oscars.
Yeah, it's a lot
Like,
of.
yeah, I mean, obviously we got to do it next year, but looking at the voting, it turned out weird.
Yeah. First of all, I phrased it wrong in our doc, so that's where we got mixed up and everything. Because
Yeah,
my thing was I was gonna have like four nominees. They're gonna be two males and there's gonna be two females. So it's kind of be like Battle of the Sexes in a way. And obviously it came out wrong. So next
Yeah,
year, next year we're gonna do split categories on that one.
we're learning.
Learn as you go. So
The nominees were Ryan Gosling for Blade Runner, Michael Fassbender for Alien Covenant, Tom Cruise for American Made, Woody Harrelson for War of the Planet, or
plant.
wasn't it War for the Planet of the Apes, or was it?
I think it was War of the Planet of the Apes. I just copied and pasted, so I think
Oh,
that's
okay,
it.
well then that must be right. Anna de Armas, Blade Runner 2049, played Joy. I don't know how to say her name. I don't know how to say this woman's name either. Saoirse Ronan, the lead from Lady Bird, and Sarah Wright from American Made.
And your winner for Best Actor is Ryan Gosling.
Blade Runner's getting some love, man. It deserves it.
Yeah, I when I shared it on Facebook, a lot of my friends and our fans like Blade Runner, and they love the shit out of this movie. So I think that's where most of the voting came from. And
Who'd you vote for if you didn't see Blade Runner?
I voted for Tom Cruise, American Made.
Oh,
I thought he did an amazing job in that movie. Tom Cruise always gets hate because of his Scientology shit, and
yeah. I mean, he's a shitty person, but he's a fantastic actor. Let's face it.
yeah, his '80s run was amazing. His '80s and '90s, and he shows up here and there during the 2000s and stuff. You have War of the Worlds, even though that was an okay film, he did great in that. Um, that repeat fucking movie that they're coming out with a second one for, Live Die Repeat.
Mm.
Uh, he was good in that, even though that's another movie that the critics kind of hate. And then you had American Made, which is based off of a true story. Uh, he was just he's just amazing. Okay, just
And then
watch.
he was in The Mummy, and that movie was great.
I skipped that movie.
I don't actually think that, by the way. I'm making a joke. I voted for Fassbender in Alien Covenant. He plays two completely different roles, but he still has to make them similar. I don't know how else to describe it, but he kills it in Alien Covenant. That movie was like good. It was above average, but Fassbender far and away is like the best part of that movie.
I don't understand why people hated that movie.
They shouldn't have. I mean, it was fun. I liked it. Like, people want to say, "Oh, it's not as good as Alien. Oh, it screws this up. Oh, it does this weird stuff from Prometheus." It just watch it as a movie. Just watch a sci-fi movie, and it's good. It's a good sci-fi movie.
Well, what I don't understand is people go, well, I want to know what happened in this area before the actual Alien movie, and they finally get it, and then they fucking hate it, and it's just like, then why did you ask for it? Like, do you want full fan service? If you get full fan service, you're always gonna get these fucking stupid moments and shit. You gotta let the creative mind flow and tell you a story, and not just fucking spoon feed you everything. People think they're entitled to shit when they're not. Just fucking watch it.
All right, so all we have left is movie of the year and game of the year.
Let's get movie of the year out of the way.
Movie of the year.
So the movie of the year, the nominees are Dunkirk, American Made, Lady Bird, and Blade Runner 2049. And with obvious,
I mean, come on, we all know what's going to win.
yeah, obvious surprise, yeah. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, I mean, if all the other voting wasn't an indicator, but this is something I did vote for. Blade Runner 2049 was my movie of the year. That's my favorite movie that I saw this year. I saw it in theaters twice, and I plan on picking it up when it comes out.
My movie of the year is Dunkirk.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, honestly, I my other nominee was Lady Bird, but I kind of like Dunkirk better.
the reason why I like not Blade Runner, Dunkirk, is because it was unique. Like, you didn't have a fucking stupid as love story in a war film. Like, it was straight up war.
Yeah, it was real, man. Real
Yeah.
as shit.
Like the thing with like Saving Private Ryan, it had like a side story to a war. War is hell, and Dunkirk explained what war is hell is all about. And I thought, I think that was the message that Nolan was trying to, while showing that these people were brave of fucking standing on that beach while getting bombed. Just the whole being in that situation was shitty, and I thought that was great how he portrayed that movie. So that was my pick of movie of the year, and you chose Blade Runner,
Of course I did.
and all our fans did.
Good.
Eh. Now let's get to the moment that we've all been waiting for, and that is our game of the year. Andy, what is the nominees?
Hellblade, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
And the winner is, and if you thought it was one game, it's actually the other Switch game, and it's Mario Odyssey. Game of the year, everybody.
But with an asterisk here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the tie.
Yep.
This was really interesting, by the way. Now let me go to Metacritic because I don't remember it. So both
Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are tied, which is hilarious to me. Like this was the category that I got the most entertainment out of seeing the result of.
Yeah. So the actual critic Metascore is also tied with a 97. So
What?
I went to a secondary, which was the user score of it. So Legend of Zelda, I believe, was an 8.1, but Mario Odyssey was an 8.9.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So because of the people of the world on Metacritic, Mario Odyssey came out on top.
What'd you vote for?
I voted for Mario Odyssey because I love the
Me
game.
too.
I never had so much fun in a Mario game in a while.
Yeah, it. I haven't had that much fun in a game in a while. Like Mario Odyssey is so genuinely heartfelt fun. It's such a delight to play. It's like there's only a couple times I got frustrated, and it's so easily to just literally turn around and find something fun to do in that game.
And the only time I got frustrated was with some of the boss battles where you would get to like the near end of killing somebody and then you would die and then you would have to start all over again. It only happened twice, but like those two times when it was happening, I was like, God damn it, I got to do this fucking again. Like
I've had that happen a lot. Like after you get to the Mushroom Kingdom, you can go back and fight bosses like on the super hard way. And there's a couple of them that I was like, oh my god, I don't even want to do this.
yeah, when you're facing that like mech thing that all the goon squad, as I call them, are in that little mech, and you have to like deflect the bombs and shit.
Yeah,
like that was annoying at times, but I was like finally happy that there was some type of like difficulty in bosses, because in the beginning you're like, man, this is too easy.
yeah, you're right though. At the beginning, you just kind of breeze through it, but you're still having a good old time.
Mm-hmm. And the music in this game, by the way, was really good. Like the new Donk City, when you're
the music for what's the world where the robots are growing the flowers?
Oh, I don't know, but that's another good place.
Yeah, that has one of my favorite tracks to any level this year or for several years. It's stuck in my head now. I thought about it for a second and now it's in there. That song's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. There's a real surprise at the end on how you could like put your hat on somebody and you're like you could fucking be a T-Rex. You could be a tank, you could be anything, almost anything in this game. And I was like, I thought that was a good mechanic. But there's something at the end where you're just like, this is funny as shit. On how
I'm still loath to like ruin too much of the stuff at the end, but I think I know what you're talking about, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll just explain that you smashed your shit, and yeah. So I thought that was really a good fucking touch, and I was surprised. I smiled throughout this whole game. There was not
that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. I was never pissed off. I was never like, oh man, did I waste $60? Should I waited for this in a sale or something? I was satisfied with my $60 that I paid for this game,
Me too.
or 50 if you have Amazon Prime.
Fact.
But this is my game of the year, and I am proud of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So all in all, I was mostly happy with the way everything came out. I'm still a little on the fence about a couple decisions people made, but all right, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
And with all our winners, I will be sending out tweets saying that they won this little belt, even though most of them probably won't care. But
I imagine almost all. I imagine all of them won't care. But
yeah.
if even one of them like tweets back, "Oh, cool, man, thanks," that would be cool.
Yeah. There is one award that won't get a belt, but I think I want to mention this is the worst publisher of this year. And there is no nominees. There's only one company that I believe deserves this worst publisher of the year, and that is EA Games.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, and we already touched upon on why they did. They're shitty. Their business practice is fucking terrible, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, we've been down that road on this show.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask. I mean, that's our official awards out of the way, but a couple other things. Do you have a favorite episode of this show, and do you have a favorite movie that we've watched for the show?
My favorite episode is when we did the Dr. Caligari and how we went into like a big history lesson on that.
Huh.
And I'm super into history, and like I enjoyed, like we went 30 minutes talking about that. And when we have like discussions like that, I believe those are our strongest episodes.
Yeah. So was Caligari your favorite movie?
No.
I didn't think so.
My favorite movie is Synchros, the time traveler one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Just because I like, fucking trying to figure out what's going on in the movie. So what's yours?
I hate to choose like one of the most recent ones, but I think my favorite episode is the one where we spent an hour debating The Last Jedi.
Yeah, by the way, that's our highest viewed on YouTube, by the way.
There you go. The people agree with me. My favorite movie that we've watched is... I'm thinking... I don't know. It's either The Prestige or it's Chopping Mall, which was that our first one?
Yes, I believe
I think
Chopping.
it was. Yeah, Chopping Mall was just a delightful disaster. I need to find more movies like that for us to watch.
Yeah, we need more shitty movies. Shitty movies that are good to watch. What else can we say?
Thanks to everyone. I mean, it's the end of the year and we're still doing stuff. I mean, we haven't done a full year's worth of shows, but we will.
Mm-hmm. This is our last episode of 2017.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I hope everybody has a safe New Year's Eve. Remember, don't drink too much if you have work the next day, because that's going to be a shitty work day. If you are off on a Monday, which I am, I'm probably going to be drinking some wine, champagne, and anything that has alcohol. So, there's going to be a lot of good things happening in this podcast. I think this is one of our successful podcasts that we've been, gradually getting better in. And I really want to make this something big and powerful and shit. But
what movie are we watching next week? It's my pick, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah, we're back to you. So
I think I had decided Neon Demon. You hadn't seen that, right?
No. So Neon Demon?
Yeah. The Neon Demon. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a Nicholas Winding Refn movie.
Yeah, and what were we gonna do? Twilight Zone episodes this month?
Yes, we had discussed it, but we hadn't come to any kind of a conclusion.
Yeah. So next week is Neon Demon. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
So catch that on Amazon Prime. And while we're here, what day do you want to do that on, by the way?
That's a good question, actually. I could do it the first or the second or the third, but the fourth, I will be gone. I'm going to MagFest in Washington, D.C.
First, second, and third. I am off on Tuesday if you want to do Tuesday.
Let's do Tuesday.
Yeah. So Tuesday it is. And are you off on that day?
I work till 5:30.
5:30. So 7 o'clock again. So Tuesday at
Wow.
7 o'clock. Remember Neon Demon, and we will be back to a normal format. Because Star Wars is out of the way and our award show is out of the way. And we will see you in 2018, where dreams will become dreams. I don't know. You guys have a good good New Year's Eve. Peace out.
Thanks for listening.
Later.